On to you Capricorns out here. So a lot of people have been talking about how they want to see me shuffle up on camera. I have done that before, and they still came out accurate. So I'm not finna be shuffling up on camera because that requires way too much time. Anyway, plain and simple. Anyway, can't make everyone happy. So you have the Justice, the Seven of Cups, and then you Capricorns have the Page of Pentacles. So for you Capricorns, right? A lot of you Capricorns very much so are you're doing the things that you Capricorns want to do, right? You even have the Four of Cups. A lot of you Capricorns are doing the things that you ultimately want to do. There's a sense of you Capricorns not really being afraid of getting rejected or, having people tell you that basically that, you're, or not answer the phone or act like you're beneath them or whatever. Because you Capricorns are waking up to realize that there's no point in it. And I've been saying it, I've been saying it for years. People who've been rocking with me since day one for years, they know that I've been saying it for years. You are essentially trying to, because you Capricorns realize that we're trying to essentially live up to, we are essentially trying to live up to another person's delusional fantasy or delusion of grandeur about what they want a significant other to be. And we're trying to have people talk like you see on the internet and literally try to placate or become that fantasy. And it's like, that's part of the problem. And I've been talking the same stuff for years. You shouldn't be doing that. You should strive to be authentic as possible. If the person ain't rocking with you, then they're not rocking with you. If the person has a delusional mentality, then they are warped, then stay away from them. People who are like that are dangerous in the first place. Now, what does this have to do with you Capricorns? This is what you Capricorns are realizing. You're realizing that, let me show you, let me take you through, right? The Justice card right here represents you Capricorns will be getting to know people, right? And I'm talking about in a general sense. You will get to know somebody. You will actually hang out with them. You may even decide to try to go on a dinner date. This is why, as I say, knock it off with all those dinner dates, right? Unless you got a person out there for a very long amount of time, right? I want to say 3, 4, 5 hours. Knock it off with the dinner dates. And you know what I'm saying? If you got people out there that long, okay. But I'm even worried about the dinner dates thing, because you're really supposed to date with a purpose. You're supposed to have a plan. You're supposed to have an understanding of what it is that you really want to do, right? So don't even go out on dates not really even knowing where this thing goes. Have a plan when you go outside, to date. But the the Justice represents you Capricorns will go out, get to know somebody, right? And what is it that you'll see, right? The Seven of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. They will try to make it seem like they're better than you. They've got more things going on. So guess what that says to you, right? Four of Cups. They're difficult to deal with. They're hard to actually interact with. And this is the type of mentality that you're going to have if you get yourself into a relationship with them. Because the if is for many reasons. To them, they're going to try to make it seem like you're not good enough. Even if they do say that you're good enough or act like you're good enough, they're only sniffing up behind you so that they could use you. See, the thing with it is that you got to understand that to a person like this is why it is I was saying it. To a person like that, everybody is getting used. No matter, even if the person that they act like is so amazing, there's no exception. Everybody is getting used. Even the person that they say is such a great person that they would see and they would have these googly eyes for. That's fake. Everybody is getting used. So a lot of you Capricorns are waking up and you're realizing that at the end of the day, it was never about your swag. It was never about X, Y, Z. It was never about this. It was never about that. What it's about is people's egos, their delusions of, like I've been saying, their delusions of grandeur, because at the end of the day, right, a person will decide that they don't want to go out with you Capricorns over something stupid, over something frivolous. Oh, it is not a, but you got to understand that if they don't want to hang out with you for that, again, are these people legitimately trying to actually really date you? What you really see, this is what I'm trying to say. What are they really in this thing for? Are they really trying to get to know somebody? Or are they worried about what other people are going to say? Because at the end of the day, those are the only people that really should be worried about the person that they kicking it with is themselves. You gotta be the one to lay down and sleep next to this person every night. Are you good with that? And see, that's what you Capricorns are understanding. This is why a lot of you are becoming a lot more or not embarrassed to be who you want to be, because you Capricorns are realizing that if a person wants to get to know you, it ain't gonna be about how much money you shelling out. It ain't gonna be because the goalpost keeps changing. There's different price tags for different people. Some people pay $0.99. No, not $1. Some people pay nothing. Some people pay $1. Some people have to pay how much? Some people got to take care of a whole family and room, board, everything, like a college. And see, then you have the Knight of Wands. So a lot of you Capricorns realizing this, there's a sense of you don't really care if you get rejected. And that's my point. The resistance to rejection will get lower and lower and lower for you Capricorns, because you understand that they're outside looking to use people. That's the catch-22. That's another nuance to it. They're not actually looking for someone to really date. They're looking to use, right? A lot of people in the dating pool are looking to use people. See, we're mixed in with one another, where you have a lot of people in the dating pool trying to use, but then you have other people in the dating pool legitimately trying to get to know other people. So it's this hodgepodge. It's this mix match, right? It's this gumbo. And gumbo is great, but it's this gumbo, right? For lack of a better term, right? This mix match of people who are one, you know what I mean, on one part of it, looking to use. Another part of it is trying to essentially, you know what I'm saying, legitimately be in a real relationship. And see, the Five of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Five of Swords speaks to how you Capricorns, see, it's a learning process. It's a learning curve, even with that. This is why it is I was saying for a little while that you Capricorns, you were reaching that threshold of actually being to the last level, but you got to get to a point where there are no levels, because that in on itself is a time frame that you will need to actually accept it, that maybe you Capricorns were the ones that was fly, and that they needed to stand on your shoulders because they were essentially using you. They're parasitic. And see, the Five of Pentacles and a Tower card right here speaks to how, once again, you Capricorns, they're the ones they're the ones begging for you to always do something for them. So it's going to take a while for you Capricorns to really wake up and see it. Obviously, not every single last one of you. Some of you Capricorns will pick up on the learning curve a lot faster, and you will actually see the matrix, so to speak, as it plays out, meaning that meaning that you will spiritually, as it happens, take a step back and really pay attention to how things are moving forward, and you Capricorns will essentially catch yourselves and will reflect and be like, nah, you're not gonna engage. You're not gonna engage and go back and forth with a person who essentially using you because they're begging. They want you. See, the name of the game is to control you and get you to do whatever it is that they want you to do, while trying to make it seem like they bring so much value. But the truth is, they are actually afraid of the zodiac signs over here in particular, but anyone who wakes up and smells the coffee and starts to ask questions. The asking questions, even on itself, is where holes are starting to be poked in basically in the balloon, basically, where it's like okay, they don't even want you asking questions, because now that I've talked about this before, you Capricorns are asking more questions. You're seeing, some of you may be dating, seeing people in real time, seeing how it is that they moving. Why is it that they're asking for so much, but then they don't bring anything for real to the table? They're talking about, they could provide this or provide that, but they talk too much. Let's actually call them to the carpet and say, yeah, bring half. And if you got a problem with it, you let me know that you are a parasite, because again, if you are a person looking to contribute, you ain't paying for everything. No one is going to let anybody just sit back and do nothing. So why don't we go halfsies? And again, the problem with 50-50 keeps popping up. This proves the point of what I mean when I say that it's parasitic out here, because everybody is coming up with excuses to not contribute. Oh, nah. Do not fight and argue, spiritually fight and argue to be as useless as possible. That's a dub. Because I want people to see my value. You Capricorn should want people to see that you are valuable. This is where the whole high value notion comes from, right? It's a display of value. It's an idea of value. The famous individuals, the rich and famous individuals, are considered high. Now again, putting quotations on this, high value, or whatever the case may be, because people already have an idea that this person brings something, some form of value to the table, right? So if that's what makes these people sought after, why wouldn't a person want to be dripping with value, essentially? See, this is the proverbial moving of the goalpost, is what I'm saying. And then you have the Ace of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords, right? So to fill in the blanks, right? The Tower and the Five of Swords speaks to how they, like I said, they will try to make it seem like you're not good enough, but it's all game. It's all game. This is why you Capricorns are not ashamed of this, because the shaming isn't going to work. The asking questions is not going to stop. A person can't, see, this is what I'm trying to say. A person can't make a claim, right? I can't get up on the internet here and say that I know what it is that I'm talking about without actually really giving y'all any kind of my backstory. This is where the delusion comes from, when you have some people who will say things like, oh, I ain't trying to hear you say about anything. And it's like, no, but the backstory of what I'm telling you is literally a part of the reading for you to understand where I'm coming from and what experience I'm actually gaining from this thing. And I know this to be true because a person who is big here, or semi-big, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how large she would consider herself as far as YouTube size. But Crimson Cure says a lot of the same things that I say. Danica Marie says a lot of the same things that I say. They're both married, and I've never been officially married before. So, and they say a lot of the same things that I say. So what does that mean? That means that I actually have relationship experience and I know what I'm talking about, because both of these two individuals are married. So where am I getting this information from if I didn't have relationship experience? And I'm single and they're married. That means that I do have that experience. That's why we're able to speak to the same experience. And see, this is what I mean when I say that you Capricorns have a better understanding now, because the Ace of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords speaks to how you're in a situation where you realize that you really have to put up a lot of boundaries for these hungry hippos out here. And you're right. So let's clarify the Seven of Swords. You have the Fool, the Chariot, the Eight of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and then you have the Ace of Cups. This, right, to clarify the Seven of Swords, this is my point. Because this is why it is that it'll seem like you'll move from person to person so easily. Because when a person shows you that they are broken, you can't stay with them. Then you have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups. You just have to basically see who is out here, right? And who's actually really open to be in a relationship, and dub the people who are not. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to over 100K. We got 17,000. Actually coming up on 17,100. We're not quite there yet. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.